it happened so fast. I didn't really get to feel it. I didn't get to think about it. Other than the fact that like I was trying to invest in something that could help me in the future. You know, like if I had a family, or if like I wanted like a real business, like passive income type of investment. I didn't really get to embrace that, ironically, until recently, when it was gonna be taken away. So like in that episode, I'm like talking like and I'm not really understanding what's going on, like but there was a lot of stuff going on outside the shop that really didn't let me like embrace what actually happened. And I have a lot of regret with that, because like even when we had our grand opening, I really just wasn't there. Like I wasn't there mentally, and like I was not present. And it sucks, because it is a big moment. And I feel like for a lot of people watching that, they're like, oh man, that must be tight. But because of things that were happening in my personal life, I didn't get to have that. And it was my choice, but I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't understand that it was a big moment and I should have really enjoyed it. And I didn't understand that we were making a statement. I said it, but I didn't get it. And it wasn't until recently that I was like, oh man, like I wish I would have like embraced that, because it could have been really nice. I think it was great that I was doing it. I think I was doing it for the right reasons. But sometimes when things are hard, you're just in autopilot and you don't really get to enjoy stuff. You're just worried about the past and the future, and you're just kind of floating in this little fog. And it is a cool episode. I'm glad that we got it on camera, because like I can go back and I can kind of enjoy it and be like, oh, that's cool that I did that. But at the moment, I really didn't get to like enjoy it, just because I was so stressed out. But the place is beautiful, and I think that our team deserves it. I think that what we want to do and what we are doing is great, not only for ourselves, but for the community. And that was my goal initially. So I'm glad I got a good autopilot so that I could put those stuff in place, whether or not I want to or not. Because yeah, like I think it's pretty tight that we're able to do that. People don't do that out here, you know? So other than that, I mean, I learned a lot there. So I had people I worked with that didn't work out. I learned from that. I had people I worked with that did work out, and that's nice. I had clients come and go. Like we had events. We worked with the community on some events. Like, so that place served its purpose. We just outgrew it, you know. We needed bigger space. We needed something safer. You know, we just need to stretch our arms out a little bit. What I would recommend to like youngsters is that everything's customizable. Like try not to get too like spiritual or like too weird with it. Like I'll try to simplify it as much as I can. Like your situation, you know, your income, your life. Like if you're able and you don't have something, even if you do have something holding you back, like for the most part, if you work really hard and get good at something, you could do whatever you want, kind of, to some extent. You know, like I'm not able to do whatever I want, but you know, my upbringing, or like the things that you're started off with don't have to be the end, you know. So I would just say, like, you don't even have, like, if you can't even afford to travel, like, if you can break that thing in your head that says, like, oh, this is it, I have to do this. You don't have to do anything. Like, whether it's positive or negative, you could do whatever you want. And I think growing up, that I didn't really have that. Like, my parents were encouraging, but, and it wasn't their fault. They just didn't know. Like, up until recently, like tattooing wasn't looked at as something tight. Like it wasn't looked at as something that you can make a career out of and be like a proper father or whatever. Like, you know, television and things like this kind of made it that way. So there was a long time that I was tattooing that my parents were like, oh, I don't know, but like I knew in my head, like I can make this work. You know, expose yourself to things that you're uncomfortable with. Just because your homies don't want to do it don't mean that you shouldn't. You know, like go try stuff, go do weird stuff. Like if you get an opportunity for something, you have to go by yourself. Don't be like, well, I'm not gonna go because like go by yourself. Do it, because nobody else is gonna help you with your dream. Like if you have a dream, just fucking pursue it. Anyone that helps you is only gonna give you like 80% tops, but most of the time they're gonna help you with like 40%. You're the only one that's gonna go 100%. But even in these shitty towns, the first rule of business is if there's a void, fill it. So if you got a dream, I think like something like this is like, if this place doesn't have shit, then make it. Like don't wait for somebody else to do it. Like you just make it yourself. We got YouTube. Like there's the internet. Figure it out. Like you be straight. Don't let anybody be like, oh, like you can't do this, you can't do that. We have to wait for somebody to do it. Like we can do whatever we want. Like people, I don't want to get too crazy with this. Like people shit on America for being capitalist, but like the plus side of being a capitalist place is that if you work hard and you find a void and you can fill it, you will be successful as long as you don't quit. And if you are not successful, you can try again. Like, so if you got something you want to do it, because why not? Shit, you got all the time in the world. You're in a small town, so get off your ass and do that shit.